Today's video, we're going to talk about Brave search ads and how they convert really, really well. Here's how to do them so you can execute and get these same results for yourself. Brave has came out with its own ad platform some years ago. I don't know the exact amount, which is irrelevant, but a few years ago now where you could actually run ads on their platform doing push notification ads on the Brave app. If you download it on your phone, push notifications, you could run their ads there before as well as now, by the way. You could also run ads doing a tab takeover. So you open a new tab on that Brave browser, you can have a whole ad showing up on that tab by default. And then there's some other types of ads. However, just recently, Brave has also come out with search ads, which is what got everybody excited that's in the know and paying attention. Now you know, to where you could run ads like you can run ads on Google search, which everybody knows how well Google Ads works. Problem is nowadays everybody knows, or too many people know, the ROI has went down, or at least it's harder to get an ROI. Takes longer to get to an ROI and so forth. Whereas new ad platforms, when they're just starting out, usually have to give you an above average return to attract initial advertisers to the platform. And that's where Brave is right now. And that's why you should try to take advantage of Brave search ads specifically if you can. The other type of ads that Brave has available are also good, by the way, but there's big minimums for them. You got to spend at least 25 grand in order to get into it. If you sell a mass market product that more than 1% of the population could buy, then you should consider it, particularly if you're already making money running display ads other places on Facebook and so on and so forth, because the traffic is very cheap and it's still really good quality. Not very many bot clicks, which is the main problem you get advertising outside the main avenues of main social platform. But I'm going to go over how to set up so you can get this going for yourself. That is the Brave search ads, so you can get the kind of returns you're looking for, or that we got. And I'll let you know kind of like what the returns we got when we ran a campaign there already, so you understand just what you stand to get here. So with that said, before I get into the content though, if you do not know who I am yet, I am Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, a online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for their clients. That is, we do not charge our clients management fees until we get them a certain minimum lift in the profitability up front in excess of the management fee, which should tell you something about the quality of information that I'm sharing with you on today's video. With that said, getting into the content here, so you could sign up for a free trial. Yes, I do mean free, from Brave, and it will scrape your ads from your currently running Google Ads account. So you would have to be running Google Ads, but you would be eligible for a trial essentially. And what Brave will do, if you are running enough ads already on Google, is they will let you have free ads running on their search platform, on their search engine, on their browser for a 2-week test, if you will. So you can run your ads on the top of Brave search results, like you can run an ad on the top of Google search results, which people access while they're on the Brave browser, essentially. So with that said, the idea being here that you run your ads for 2 weeks, you're able to see some conversions that come through. With their conversion tracking, they allow you to set up conversion tracking to know how well it works in that 2-week period of time. And then your appetite is going to be increased for those ads, and then you'll be able to want to pay. And then once you start going ahead and you want to continue, you've got your taste, you want to continue, you're addicted, you actually have to start paying per click moving forward. Okay. Now, if your ads already work on Google, your ads will work better on Brave, the Brave browser and Brave search engine, because the traffic, like I was mentioning at the very start of this video, is cheaper per click for similar quality click than it is on Google already. Way cheaper. We're talking 3 times or more cheaper per click, because there's little competition on them. They're just getting started at this point in time. So your ROI should actually be at least 3 times as good as what it is on Google running your ads there. The downside, the big downside of Brave search engine ads, compared to Google ads, is the volume just isn't there. Yes, they have tens of millions of users. That's great and everything, but it's 1% or less of the search volume that Google has. So, I mean, it's a great extra bit of profit you could get from an already well-running operation that you have, well-oiled operation, but it's not going to be a game changer in and itself unless you sell something like super mainstream, like car insurance or something like that everybody buys, and you could potentially get by with just running your ads there. But like I mentioned before, you can't run ads there unless you're, at least at this stage, maybe by the time you watch this will be different, you can't run your trial without having your Google ads running. So with that said, now everybody is not going to get accepted to this just because you run Google ads. You can't throw up a Google ads campaign, spend $500 on it, and then go apply for your free trial at Brave. They don't want to give you free traffic if you don't look like you're a big fish. How big do you have to be for this? Well, if you haven't scaled your ads to look like $100K a month company on Google yet, you probably won't be able to advertise with them and take advantage of their free trial right now. So that's kind of the threshold. I don't know, they don't have an official cutoff. That's pretty much where I've seen it is, okay? So you got to do your job to do, follow these advice I have for you on this channel to get your Google ads to work. So you have better ads, better landing pages than your competition, or better website than your competition on Google ads, so it can be profitable. So you have a higher ad rank than everybody else in your market, competing for the same customers you're going for. Then you slowly recycle your profit back into more ad spend. You scale it up. And then eventually when you scale it up, you diversify. Go and run yourself and set up a Bing ads account or Microsoft ads account running ads on Bing.com. Get yourself another 15%, at least more profit, probably 20 to 30% typically on top of what you're getting through Google. Then you go ahead and try to get the Brave ads, search ads running for yourself, just as, an added bonus. If Google ads work, Microsoft ads will work and likely better, and Brave ads will work and likely and for sure, I would say for sure better. So if you can get Google ads to work, the other two will work. By the time you watch this video here, things certainly probably will have changed. They're not going to be doing this free trial forever. The time of making this video, technically, I make my videos in advance of publishing them because we spend a lot of time in the editing and so forth. But, beginning of 2025, that they still have the free trial going on. I would even, if we're talking, you're watching this in 2026, 2027, certainly the trial could be over by then. But like everything else that starts out in terms of online ads, it always starts out where it's super profitable. When new stuff comes out, the time to jump on it is right away. Not waiting like, oh, I want to see, people telling me how well it works first before I try it. By the time everybody figures out how well it works, there's no cheap traffic there anymore. They don't need to sell it for cheap. They take out the teaser rate for the traffic, you're paying, and you're now fighting like hell to get a return on an investment because the cost of the clicks are so high. So, ultimately, and there's always going to be new platforms that come up, taking market share away from the existing platform. And this hasn't stopped since the internet has came out. There's always new traffic sources. If you get on them early, you don't need somebody like myself telling you every last little thing works before you try it. You just go throw up 1% of your ad budget on this other platform. You run it for a few months and you just see what happens. Are you getting some sales? Okay, well, let's keep it going. Let's see what happens. Even if you're not getting a return, and eventually you'll get a return, and mainly because with tracking, you can figure out what 10% of what you did worked and weed out the other 90%. Things may have changed by the time you watch this video, but I almost guarantee the return you get on the Brave search ads are going to be better than what you're going to get on Google ads 5 years from now, mainly because, like with Microsoft, they're going to have to charge less for clicks to encourage people to actually set up their ads there, because it's another thing to manage, and they're not going to bother with it if the returns aren't abnormally well, and they've heard through the grapevine it works so well. Otherwise, they're going to say, that other 1%, I don't care about it, it doesn't matter to me. So they're going to have to always give you a better deal than Google just to get you to advertise there, like Microsoft does with their Bing ads. And then on top of that, the return's going to go down. It's not going to be so obscenely high. Like we're going to get 1,000% great or greater ROAS on our ad spend running our Brave ads on the Brave browser and search engine. That's just because it's so brand new. So that 1,000, if we're getting 1,500% ROAS today, I would expect 5 years from now, it's going to be like, if we're getting 500% on Google, it's going to be 700% or 800%. It's going to be half of what it was because they're going to raise their prices, but it's never going to be worse than Google. That's what I expect to happen. So before I give you some other key facts and then the case study that I mentioned I was going to bring up on this video. So like I mentioned, the key thing that's going to get ads to work, you got to get Google ads to work. And if they do work, you're going to get Brave ads to work. You got to know what to do. This channel's chock full of all the advice about what we use to guarantee results for our clients in terms of the ad copy, the landing page strategy, the tracking strategy, all the stuff you need to know. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, you absolutely should, because all the information that I share with you on this channel comes from somebody who spends 40 hours a week doing ad strategy. And I've done it for over a decade now at this firm and 20 years overall. So you're getting it straight from the source, whereas most of the other yahoos on this platform don't really run any ads. They run a couple ads. They're trying to be YouTube stars. I spend my weekend sharing my information, and I spend my day job is still just doing ad strategy. So it's who you want to actually learn from. Furthermore, I got a great blog on my site at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog has all the strategies I talk about on this channel and documented with screenshots with everything. If you like the channel, you should check that out as well. Along with that, by the way, if you have anything to ask as far as things that topic requests, questions about Brave ads that you want to go run them, you thought that I didn't explain something well enough, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours. So getting back into what I was mentioning here, key facts here or things to know before you go ahead and do this, given that most of you guys watching this maybe not have the ad spend on Google to get your trial approved through Brave. If you're watching this a year from now in 2026, the requirement in terms of ad spend on Google to get approved, or just there probably just won't be any barrier. There's for sure isn't going to be a barrier to entry to run Brave ads at some point. They're just doing because they just came out with it. There is. With that said, for you guys that are going to be able to do it now or need to wait a little while to do it, Brave has tracking. Even though it's a privacy browser and search engine, they still do let you do conversion tracking. You could do your conversion tracking on the platform through URL-based tracking. You can't do it through cookie-based tracking. Basically means is you have to have a thank you page set up on your site. So if somebody fills out a form and you're tracking that needs to forward to a thank you confirmation page that's on a separate URL of your site to track that conversion. If you're talking about a phone call, you're not going to be able to track it because, ultimately, you're not going to be able to do that, at least through your Brave ads platform and ad account itself. You can track it in Google Analytics itself using UTM tags on your URL, but you're not going to be able to do it through the platform itself. Unfortunately, but they had to do that because they'd be hypocrites letting the advertisers spy on their users just to get ad money. It would get around and it would defeat the whole purpose of the platform. So, but you can track, you're going to know with this trial how much conversions you got. And if you're doing e-commerce, you just send people to a purchase confirmation page. That page, you just take the URL, tell Brave, hey, this URL is the URL I want to track, and you can track how many purchases you got. You'll know at least how well things work from that. And then from there to track your ROI and /ROAS, you'll have to do some calculations, dividing your revenue that you got by your ad spend manually outside your account, but you can track well enough. The other thing to mention is they have CPC-based bidding. So similar to Google, they have cost per click bidding. At least for now, it's just cost per click bidding. I'm sure in the future they're going to have smart bidding, ROI-based bidding somehow, even though the conversion tracking is hampered on purpose. Back in the day with Google, the way that we would get the best results out of Google ads before the algorithm was so robust and smart bidding would actually beat manual bidding is we would use something called the bid modification formula. You can Google this, it's easy to find, where you plug in what your conversion is on a keyword and you divide it by the ad spend on that keyword and you put it in this formula, and then it tells you how much your bid should be adjusted based upon how well you're converting. So along with that, the ROI that you need to be profitable or you're satisfied with overall at your company. So in other words, if you need a 500% ROI and you got 3 sales in this keyword and you got let's say a 250% ROI, well, the bid adjustment formula will tell you to bid 50% less than what you're bidding now, so that the reduced clicks that you get from that, because if you reduce bids on a keyword, you're going to get less clicks, you're going to be less competitive in the auction space, but at least the clicks you're going to get moving forward are going to be at the ROI that you want, 500%. In general, that's what bid adjustment formulas are for, or what they're about, and that's what you're going to use to guide your ads on the Brave Ads platform for yourself. So, and then with that said, getting into the case study now that we had, so we had a mole removal product company. We were promoting a big chunk of ad spend on Google. We promoted it on the Brave browser. We also promoted it pretty much everywhere else. In a situation, I always talk about on this channel how if things work for you on one platform, you start farming it out to all the other platforms. You got Facebook, you got Microsoft. You can run ads on Taboola, Outbrain. You can run ads on there's other weird ad networks out there. You can run ads, push notification networks, stuff. You just test places. The best place to run ads is usually on the big platforms. YouTube, Facebook, running ads on Gmail, running ads on Google search, Microsoft ads, and so on and so forth. So anyway, we ran ads on, this is just another place we ran ads, was on for this Brave browser. And with that said, we did very well. Now, the return that we were able to get on Google was okay. It's not hot, certainly getting a profit from it. We're not getting an astronomical amount of profit because the cost per click is pretty high. But we're making money. We're spending a great deal of money, spending close to 100 grand a month, right around there, which is why I brought up earlier. That's kind of seems like the threshold where you at least need to be at, because I've actually tried to apply for other companies. It wasn't approved. So with that said, if you want to know the difference in ROI ROI that we got, and the reason why I mentioned is your return should be at least 3 times as good. Our ROI on our ad spend with that particular product, because it's a high margin product, anytime any cosmetics or personal care brand product like that, creams, lotions, anything like that, it's gonna have super high margins. We were getting right around a 250% ROAS on that product on Google. On Brave browser and the Brave advertising app, where you can log in and do Brave search ads specifically, we were over 700% on that platform itself, which tells you just how much this actually can do better than Google. Now, volumetrically wise, nowhere near the sales though. So like I said, they kind of have to bait you a little bit with a better than average return to even get you to worry about it at all. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. And they also want you to advertise on Google, I think, because they know nobody's going to go ahead and set up a bunch of ads on the platform for an extra 1% more volume, search traffic volume. So, and when you sign up for the trial, they scrape all the ads off of your Google campaign. Then you just have to click, yep, approve, approve, approve. The volume that we got actually was decent. I was expecting less. Comparing Google and the Brave sales that we were getting, it was about a 50-to-1 ratio of sales from Google to Brave, with the 2% having a much higher ROI. So if you add it all up, the actual amount of profit that we were making is closer to 10%. So at the end of the day, it's massively worth it, which is really what you have to consider and should be thinking about when you are going to decide to do it or not. And for that matter, it takes 15 minutes to sign up for a trial, so it doesn't hurt to sign up for one. And all they can do is deny you. And at the very least, if they deny you today, you set a reminder for a year and come back and try it again, because the standards are going to be lower in a year, guaranteed. Okay. So, and if you want some advice about this, personalized advice, I can do a coaching call with you. All you have to do is reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I can set up everything for you. I'm familiar with the platform already, and I can tell you what return you can get out of it and what we can guarantee for you in terms of results. So if you're interested in that, just reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com. We also have been selling ad templates, just to let you know as a side, and these are very popular. We've worked in over 100 different niche markets in the last 10 plus years running this advertising firm now. If we've already got the results you're looking for in your market, you can buy outright from us the ads, landing pages, campaign templates that work for your market. As long as you're in a different geographic area than our client, or different, meaning like different city or different country, you can use that same thing in your market. And we got people using these templates to drop ship stuff, sell leads, subcontract out stuff. They don't even do the work because the template works so good. Or they just didn't want to spend the time figuring out what we had to figure out over years in that market and just use what we had right away. And, you know, for that matter, it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars what we're selling. We're not selling it for that, but that's what it's worth, because when we've spent $500,000 figuring out the best ad, best landing page in your market to run, why would you want to go ahead and do that all for yourself again? Just because it's free to set up your own campaign. It'd be silly not to. And at the very least, you should find out what results we got in your market, because you would then know, you know, what you stand to gain potentially if you used our template. So if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at my firm at guaranteedppc.com. So with that said, I'll wrap everything up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you are able to get approved and onto the Brave Ads platform for yourself. See you later.
Remember when I said Google ADs was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.